It is 8:04 Pacific Standard Time. This is the PL-89 calendar, and an hour ago, of course, it was 7:04, and 7:04 is a direct descendant, as it were, of 24, explained in a previous video, but I'll just recap it real quick. Any number in the PL-89, any one of these boxes, can extend infinitely up or down based on the number 40, which means today is January 4th, and that corresponds on the PL-89 to the number 24 in this eon. Okay, it's been different eons before, and at one point they might all converge, but as it is now, January 4th is represented by box 24. So 24, the rule of the PL-89 states that the rule of 40, or it's called extension 40, takes a number ad infinitum into one line of thought. It's considered one channel by adding 40. So 24 is considered 64. 64 is considered 224. 224 is considered 264. And 264 and 704. Now, when you get to 804, you're a little bit, I'm not going to say you're in trouble, but it doesn't follow that straight line. Once you get into even numbers, it's okay. The other rule is that you're starting from 1 to 100. That's the base. That's like the element. That's the elemental launching point. And if you do that, then those numbers, by adding 40, will only be the same if you're in the even numbers of hundreds. Like 50 will be 250, will be 450, will be 650, 850, 1050, etc. Because adding 40, well, 5 times is 200. So you see how that works. But see, let's say 50, for example, right? 50, then it's going to be 90, but then it's going to be 130. That means that in all the odd number hundreds, 130 is going to be 330, is going to be 530, is going to be 730, okay, which is going to be 770, which is something else. But anyway, I was thinking about Chabad, so 770, so kind of like, that's why I went there. But so what happens when you have one part of it is correct and another part is not? I call that a half cap. A half cap is basically when, for example, 704 is a direct descendant of 24, right? Because 24 plus 40 is going to be 64, 104, 144, 184, right? 224, 264. Anyway, you go up the line, just 104, you can see from 104. Because 104 is 304, is 504, is 704, right? But what happens if you have 804? 804 is not exactly right. You have half of it right, you have the 4 part of it right, but you don't have, you don't have so it's called half cap. Half cap means it's like partially right. So that's just a determining factor. But so now we're officially in a half cap of a 24 descendant, and that's going to have ramifications in the future. And when you need to make a video about a certain topic at a certain time, and it has to align with the number that's the theme of the day, but you're not in the right hour. You don't want to wait a whole hour to make the video. You want to make it now. So then you just have to make it now, and you have to call it a half cap. That's all. You call it a half cap. That's the rule. And so for now, I'm calling it half cap. It might change, but let's keep it there for now. Now, there's some interesting things that I'd like to ask some mathematicians, because I'm sort of like not amateur, maybe amateur is a word, or like lay mathematician, or like just all these mathematics that I'm getting involved in is just creative math. It's just my own mind. I never studied math in school or in college. I'm thinking I started getting into math in my 30s, and so I just started doing my own math that I like, math that's relevant to what I do, and to number theory and to counting, special types of counting, which is mathematics. It's basically arithmetic. There might be some algebraic equations involved, a little bit of geometry, but it's all and number a lot of number theory, and so that's kind of that's my branch of mathematics, and special types of counting, and things of that nature, and so. So I'd like to find out from some mathematicians, but like, let's say it asks a very simple question. Okay, here's the question that my branch of mathematics would address. Okay, what do the numbers 24, 34, and 9 have in common? Okay, it seems like a simple question, right? I don't think anything. They're all not prime numbers. They're all. Maybe you could say they're all not prime numbers. Maybe that's the only thing you can say, that they're not prime numbers. But I went to this thing, on Google. If you type in a question, they have this thing called, it's an AI thing called Search Labs, and it answers your question whenever you ask it. So I asked, what are the common factors of 24, 34, and 9? So it says the greatest common factor is a set of numbers as the largest factor of all the numbers share. How to solve? Basically, you find the factors of 24, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. And then you find the factors of 34, which would be 1, 2, 17, and 34. And find the factors of 9, 1, 3, and 9. Step 4, identify the common factors. There's the only common factor of 24, 34, and 9 is 1. That's not really so. I mean, 1 is a common factor of like pretty much every number. Any number times that. I mean, I think it's a common factor of every single number. So basically what I'm saying is that the numbers 24, 34, and 9 don't have a whole lot in common. But I found a connection to the PL-89 where they absolutely have something in common. They are critically in common. And that kind of blows my mind in that the PL-89, it's bringing revelations in mathematics that you wouldn't find studying, like, let's say, traditional mathematics. But the reason why 24, 34, and 9 have something in common is that they are all the fourth day of the month. 24 is the fourth day of the month, and this in this eon is what I've been calling it lately. I've called it, in this eon, it refers to the 4th of January and the 4th of Tevet, which was today. And then in a different eon, 4th of January would have been 34. But look, 1, 2, 3, 4. 34 represents the fourth day of the month in that eon, which would be Tevet, January, or Nisan, or anyway, I won't go through that right now. But or in a different eon, it would have been, and in the first eon, it would have been see it? Number 9, 23, 32, 40, and then 9. So if you're just going through traditional math and you want to know what do 24, 34, and 9 have in common, not a whole lot. But in the PL-89, they have something very much in common.